This is a Rogue Media Network podcast.
Okay, how about I kick it off?
Do it.
Kick it off, Suze.
Okay, welcome. Hey, how you doing? How you doing? It's going well. It's going good. We're doing good. Nothing wrong here. Nothing's on fire here.
Nothing's on fire?
JK. It's like super on fire in my head. Okay, so today we're talking about identity. We're talking about labels specifically. And I know for me, like, because I was thinking about that today, what kind of labels, like, stick with me most often? You know, I mean, we're not over here. I mean, back in the day, okay,
Yes.
we can't say on camera and in this microphone what kind of labels I had, but they were really bad. But so now, you know, I have like a pretty, I don't know, I have a walk with God, you know, like I'm walking, we're doing the thing. But they still show up and they still interfere with my day. And they're buzzkills, really, you know?
Yes.
And today I was thinking about it and I was like, what labels pop in my head that are negative, you know? Because I've got some labels that I get some identity from that ultimately would bring me nothing if they were taken away, which is something to address also. But I've been feeling old. You know what I mean? Don't laugh.
What does that make you and I, Kelly?
No,
Okay, I knew that was going to come. Oh, you haven't even hit 40
All
yet.
right,
Okay,
yes.
young. Okay, Padawan. You
That's
know,
right.
like, but honestly, like, I have been feeling old lately, and it kind of gives me a little bit of I don't know. Like, there's a part of me that's rebellious, like, I'm not dyeing my hair anymore. Yeah, like I'm not doing it because they want me to do it. You want me to not like my gray hair because that's supposed to be bad.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
so
the real
I'm
stuff.
just gonna say though, I'm gonna highlight it till they put me in the grave. I am okay with that.
I will
Yes, please.
highlight.
Are you blonde? I sure am. 70 and blonde.
okay.
It's natural.
I know, and you know what? Both of y'all.
Color
Both
and
of y'all.
highlight.
I don't know, but there ain't no blonde. We ain't no blonde, okay? We ain't no blonde. And
Maybe you should try it, Susan.
I have.
Come on over to the light side.
I have.
Okay.
And I made some mistakes when I
I
was
want to
blonde.
see a picture. I want to see
Did
a
you
photo.
do it yourself?
Photo.
Oh, okay. So there was a time where I was trying to do blonde by myself. And actually, there were a few times. And both of them were bad. Like, it was bad times. Bad time city when I was trying to do blonde myself. But I did get it professionally done. Also bad times. And so I just don't do it anymore, you know? Like, I don't have the salary right now to do blonde. So,
It is a lot of maintenance.
Yeah.
Well, it would be if you're dark haired.
it is.
Okay, we're so squirrel chasing there. But I see the segue that you're trying
Hey,
to
it
do.
took me the
I
whole
totally
because
get
I used to have red hair. If anybody
Yeah.
can figure, look
I
at it now.
know.
It is not red in any shape or form. Oh,
Are you
so
naturally
when you're
redhead?
talking about age, my hair color changed already.
Okay. Oh. Oh.
She's
I
embracing it,
wonder.
Sue. She's embracing it.
I am embracing it, but only because it's my way of covering up the fear of people not liking me because of my hair. I'm like, no, this is rebellion. I'm actually stronger, you know, and it's like, I'm really just afraid of what people think about me, which is another label.
It
It is another label.
It is a
You
label.
know what I mean? So, so I don't know how they're showing up in your life, but that's the one that's happening most often is like, oh, you're getting old. So you're irrelevant. You know, you're gray haired. And my inclination is to like poke fun at myself and be like I've been doing this thing when I'm teaching, like when I refer to a teacher, I'm like, Mrs. Mean Old Lady. That's what I
Okay.
say.
Slay.
Oh.
Mrs. Mean Old Lady does not slay, you know? Like, rewrite that in a sentence using correct grammar, you know? And meanwhile, I'm like,
Hey, but the
really
your
think
whole
I'm
thing
mean?
though about the relevance is the worldly things.
Yeah,
it's all the
it is.
things that
I know.
play in our head. I mean, it's the labels. They just change,
I know.
and we shouldn't let them.
Oh.
We shouldn't wear them.
No. They take up
But
time.
yeah, for sure. I mean,
They
was
take
it
up time.
okay? 20-something Sue's labels would have been bad, but 30-something Sue's
38.
is hair, or today is old. The label is I'm old, so I'm irrelevant, so I don't matter.
Yeah. Like I don't
And
matter.
so, what's my purpose?
Oh.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Because there's layers to
honey.
the labels.
Honey.
There are layers to the labels.
Or like life didn't work out the way I thought it would. Like I was thinking about that the other day. Like I thought when I got older, like let me tell you something. I did a whole project when I was like in high school about how like I was gonna have a $30 million house because I was gonna be a big movie star.
Okay.
Yeah, let's be driving a BMW. I had a personalized license plate already picked out, and like
Sue's.
yeah, it wasn't that. I'll tell you that.
Oh, I would
Producer?
totally do Sue's.
I know.
I would too.
I know. Maybe
I don't have
it's
a
not
cute
too
name
late
like
for a
that.
personalized license plate, but yeah. And now I'm like, and it's not that I don't have a purpose. I have an immense purpose in my life, but like being a teacher, driving a paid for, almost 10-year-old car, looking for land, making my own deodorant. I looked into the camera to say that. Like that, yeah, because I need you to know. And it works, and it does. But that was not part of my plan. And like the other day, it popped in my head, like, are you a loser? Did I lose?
Oh.
Yeah. And I'm not messed up about it. You don't need to call
Yeah,
any
I
numbers or
gotcha.
anything.
Okay.
But
Right.
but it was like such a contrast between what I thought my life would look like and what my life does look like. And if I get down like real serious about it, I'm like, no, I have an amazing life, and like this is probably who I really have always been. And the $30 million mansion and the movie star and the Oscar and all this other stuff, that was just stuff I used to cover up in like this feeling, stuff I
Yeah.
put in place. And who God sell all your possessions, take up your cross and follow me. And this is who I am. Who I am is
Yeah.
the silly girl who like wants to dig in the dirt with no shoes on and make her own deodorant and like not dye her hair. Like that's who I really am.
Okay.
And anyway, so
Well,
I don't know how it's showing up in your life, but
I know currently what's showing up is, as a mama, am I enough?
oh,
Okay.
oh,
Okay.
know?
oh,
Or
There are women listening going, oh,
am I doing a
Okay.
good job?
am I really? Or am I thinking? Or what if I should have, could have, would have? Can get back in my head, and then I'm like, okay,
Oh no, that's right.
that is not true.
Yeah, right.
I do my best.
right.
And
Right.
because of God, it happens the
Okay.
way it needs to happen because I
Okay.
follow and be
Okay.
His feet, be His hands,
Okay.
be the best I can. And then I have to realize humanly, I'm going to fall short.
Yeah.
But I'm not alone. That's the thing.
okay. Well, I think for me, this past weekend, we were all at the same recovery conference. And getting to share my story always brings back this thing. Even though I don't go up there with anything rehearsed, none of the things. It's like, hey, God, what do you want me to say today? But then after it, it's like, what did I say?
Right.
And was it worthwhile? And am I worthwhile? And then for a minute,
Yeah.
all the things come back like, what are you doing? Like 5 minutes before hitting the stage, who do you think you are? What are you doing, and what do you have to give? What do you have to offer? You're not an expert. You're not a pastor. You're not a this. You're not a that. Like the voice comes in my head. Like you're none of these things. You're an expert on nothing. And then I had to remind myself Sunday, like, no, wait a second.
Baby.
I do have a little authority in that ground
Baby.
because I sat all the way down, have worked a program of recovery, have a relationship with God, and I do have authority over those things and the voices in my head.
Okay.
And I
Yes,
don't
you
have to
do.
wear the labels, right? So the
Okay.
whole thing of like, well, I'm not this, and like today, 35, driving down 35 after a doctor's appointment, going, oh my gosh, this cannot be happening to me at this age, and I will not accept. I will not accept the answer out of the other side of my mouth was like, "Hey, Jesus, thank you that I don't have cancer, and that all my organs are still in, somewhat place, and I appreciate that there ladies who have had children. It's happening. It will happen to you. It's just a thing. Anyway, so." But the long and short of it, the longer I drove, the longer I listened to some worship music, the longer I prayed for other people and got out of myself for a minute. It was like, wait, whoa, whoa, to the whoa, whoa, whoa. I do have something to offer this world.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's my own victory, my personal victory and my testimony. And testimony means do it again. The word testimony is like, do it again. Like, I don't know if that's Greek or Hebrew. I'm not a linguist, whatever. But I do know that it means do it again. And there's this other force out there that would have me not. That's where the lies come in and the deception come in and the labels of you're not good enough. You're not this, you're not that. So, no, I went up there, and I don't even know what I said, but I know I knocked it out of the park because I asked God into it, and He spoke.
Yeah.
And I used my experience, my strength, my hope, my story, and what life is like now to rip those labels down one more time, to stomp on the chains that used to hold me down and go, you know what? I don't drink and drug today. I have another solution. His name's Jesus.
Yeah.
And I kind of like that friendship. I kind of like that relationship, and I like the relationships that have come from that. Right.
And I feel like me, man, I can be spiritually going in the morning after reading out of the Bible, reading out of meditations, and yes, everything is good in me. Okay. Everything I see is great. And the next minute, for the next 5 minutes, then my brain is swirling and creating this stuff. And then I'm like, wait a minute. Hold on.
I know.
I'm in the room by myself, and so whoever your spirit is coming into this brain, leave.
We got a spirit of disruption in here.
Got a little deception going on.
We got a spirit in here. I know. And that's what I was just thinking.
Yeah.
I was thinking, because it's been a weird 2 days, and
Another 48.
let me tell you what.
Okay.
It's been a whole nother 48. And I'll be walking, like when I'm feeling, it's so dumb how that happens. And it's like that deception comes in, that spirit, of untruth comes in. And I do have authority over it, which for some reason I got an etch-a-sketch mind. And I, for a moment, I'll forget that.
Yeah.
I'll forget that when it starts whirling up. And in the same way, when I'm spirit-filled, like there is, I am recovered, babe. I am recovered, babe. And I was thinking about that this weekend, and I didn't even remember until you just started mentioning it. This past weekend, I'm walking around like, oh, I know I'm recovered.
Yeah.
I know I'm recovered. I'm recovered from a seemingly hopeless state of mind.
Yes.
And like, that's who I am. That's who I am with God. There's a whole bunch of things I am with God.
Oh, yeah.
And greater is He.
Well, and
me.
I think this, as a community, what I have found with us is like, hey, I can acknowledge and say, hey, Suze, this is where I'm at, or hey, Kelly, this is what's going on, and yesterday was great.
Yeah.
So I don't know what happened, but I need you to pray for me.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh my God, which is yes. That is definitely a big bonus of community. Like you have people who can stand in the gap when that tornado, when that whatever that is starts. Well, I know what it is, but when it starts whirling up, like having people say, "Hey, man, hey, pray for me."
Well, and I think that one of the biggest old chains that I had when I began recovery was just the lack of confidence, the lack of in what I was doing. And I was always, are they going to like what I wear? Are they, who are
my
they, first
gosh.
of all?
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Oh,
Who are they?
It's a they.
I got some
You
days
know,
in my head.
and feeling alone. That was just one big one
Yes.
that I was like, there is no way that someone is going to want to hang out and listen or share or be a part of as a friendship with
Yeah.
this crazy brain of mine, and then I found out, other women are thinking the same things I do, but they don't express it. And I'm like, no, we need to express those because then it's not so powerful.
Yeah.
Once I say I am not enough, wait a minute. Yes, I am enough. I know that I am enough because God has shown me through you people, through my family, through all of that, where it's like, wait a minute,
Yeah.
quit.
Yeah.
It's the battlefield of the mind.
Okay.
It is the battlefield.
It's the battlefield of the
I know
mind,
that.
and it's a thing that goes on and on and on. And in today's world, I think even more so than like back in the day, right? Because world.
Yes.
Sorry, world. It's just truth. It's just truth. We didn't have. I was thanking God for this Sunday when I was in the mind, right? I was like, thank God there was not social media and smartphones and all the things when I was growing up. We just had the clicks, right?
Yes.
You just had clicks you had to deal with,
Yeah.
right? And clicks were enough because I was so busy comparing my insides and letting the committee meet in my head to your outsides. You didn't even know me.
Yeah.
That I had myself below your shoes. I mean, I know your story.
Yeah.
I know what you were going through.
Yeah.
Nope.
And then you let that manifest in your mind long enough and it seeps down to your heart. And it's like, well, who am I that the creator of the universe even knows my name or would acknowledge me because of the things I've done? Because I listened to the battlefield, like you're saying, I'm not enough. Well, if I'm not enough as a mom, as a wife, as a employee, as a friend,
Right.
then I'm tripping up in every area of my life because that I'm not enough goes all the way.
Oh, yeah.
I see a lady in the store with her kids and they look like they're having a dandy old time. Oh, my college kids don't come and, well, maybe I should be hanging out more. What am I doing? Or, I mean, it's the
It's the
littlest
quick.
thing, right? It's a quick thing. And then I'm like, whoa. I don't want to give too much ground to the enemy. I don't like to do that. But that's the only game he's got.
Yeah, I
Deception,
know it.
deception, deception, and distraction. And when I let the thing roll around in the mind, the labels, when we let them roll around,
Yeah.
like I used to, like all the time, right? Then we get into this whole thing of we're distracted, and my answer and solution used to be in a bottle. And now it's like, wait, like what y'all were saying. Oh, okay, so I'm going to put the praise music on. Like I was
Yeah.
texting a friend last night saying, hey,
Yeah.
go for a walk. Go for a walk and thank God for the ground.
Uh-huh.
Thank God for the flower.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah, yeah.
God for the dog that's running that probably pees in your yard and kills some plants or whatever, but thank him for him
Thank you.
anyway.
Yes.
But in my steps towards those things, the labels chip away.
Yeah.
And then before I know it, I'm like, wait a second.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
back to the thing of, no, I got authority here.
Yeah.
I'm recovered.
It's like
I'm
the-
recovered and free.
It's like the bringing in, bringing in the spirit of truth, and being like,
Get your sword, girl.
hey,
Well,
hey,
and I
Get your
just
sword.
think what we got to remember is we don't have to get in that desperation like we did
oh, yeah,
years ago, like that. And if anyone listening does, like, bring it to us. Let us
Yeah.
know that
Oh,
you're
yeah.
not alone, and that these things, if we don't acknowledge it, it's going to rule us.
yeah. That's the crazy. I think about that a lot, like how before, and I'll forget, because that's his only game.
It is the only game.
Is distraction and disruption and dishonesty and deception and all these things. That's
a
lot
lot
a-
of D's. I like
what a
it.
dumb game. Big old dumb. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dumb devil.
You dumb devil.
See what I was doing there with
That's
the D's?
not. Okay.
Okay.
That's alliteration. Just so you know, I know that because I'm a teacher. I
glad you
literally
do.
teach
So
it. It's
smart.
literally my business.
Thank you.
Okay.
For those listeners who didn't know. Anyway, but
I'm illiterate.
Hey, by the way, since we're on that,
God
do
bless.
you know what is spelt when you spell dog backwards? What does that spell?
it spells God. What do you got in your cup? What do you
Stephanie's
got in
cut off.
your cup?
Cut off. No more caffeine.
No, we're talking about teaching. I'm
Okay,
teaching.
all right.
And then
Anyway,
illiterate.
Suze, the point was,
Everybody take a drug test after this. I'm just kidding. Everybody's sober. It's fine.
yeah.
Don't edit it out.
It's hot apple cider, I
Just-
promise.
Just plain old cider.
Because we're
but-
too old for caffeine after 5.
I know I'm gonna be up all night. But that's his only game, and I will forget for a little bit. I will forget for a little bit, and I have a community that reminds me, and so it's just real quick.
Okay.
It's real quick, and then you do get out your sword of truth, and you do get wow, wait.
Yeah, man.
Let me tell you something, dude. Here's what I am, and I know this, and it used to be like. People would tell me this, before my big encounter with and that was after I was so desperate and it
Yes.
was so broken. But like after that, and God put me back together, and that truth that people had been telling me for years and I'd heard in church, and I can read it right here, and I'm like, okay, after it went from my head to my heart and then flooded everywhere else.
Yeah.
I would, before that happened, I would stay in that. I lived in that. I lived in it all the time. I really did believe. I used to call, and I didn't know what it was. I didn't know what that attack was. But I used to say that it was like the mean prosecutor who doesn't play by the rules. That's what it felt like to be in a room with that voice in my head.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know,
like he's
for
telling,
sure.
I'm having to defend my right to be here. I'm talking about breathing in and out.
Yeah.
Like, and this is sober.
Yeah.
This is sober. I'm having to defend my existence. Here's why I sort of can be here. Here's why I sort of should not have to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there's some things like, that stuff will drive you to do a whole bunch of different things. I was a cutter for a really long time. I was a cutter into sobriety.
Yeah.
Because that voice was so loud, and that truth, or that lie was so big in my head, and all the labels that came with that. They're like, there's a long list of bad stuff, and so now, now that I have this, I have some truth to lean on. I have some truth that's in my heart and in my head. Now that I have that, those times where I forget are a lot shorter. And I
Yeah.
am grateful for that. And I'm grateful for a community that I can go to and I can say, look, I am not dressed up, and this is how I really feel. And this is what is going on in my head and in my heart. And they can say, girl, what? You're recovered,
Yeah, man.
and I'm like, oh, yeah. And then I start praying and all those things. And it's like, okay, yeah, I know who I am. I have that truth. I have that truth in my heart.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
etched there.
Well, and I think that the walking, so many people think, oh, well, others have it very quickly. Well, they don't. It is a process. It is
long
walking.
time.
It is trudging through some of these things that hurt. But in the end wise, we become warriors.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
like y'all were saying, bringing out the sword. Yes, amen. I
Be
do.
loud. You got to be loud. You got to have your
Okay.
thing. Yes, I'm saying.
Okay. Yeah.
It takes action.
It does take action. Well, you can't. What is it? We recovered from a seemingly hopeless
State of
of
mind
and body, right? And then it's like, hey, well, so while I'm out here doing life, and I'm supposed to be this recovered person, doesn't mean life doesn't happen, and
Right.
doesn't mean that whatever your thing is. Because I was explaining to somebody the other day because they called. They were like, hey, I saw the retreat thing, and I just wanted to know this. Like, I don't know that I would fit in. Is it just for women that are in recovery or who are having problems with like I know yours was drugs, alcohol, like, the thing. And I was like, no, girl, it's, he sees you because it's all about the encounter.
Yeah.
Because I truly believe, and I said, the ladies are with me, like, we're all in this thing together, and we are, like, on this war path for all the women of the world, right?
Yeah.
Not like put your vagina hat on and let's go, but like,
I mean, whatever, you know.
I guess if you wanted to, it'd probably throw me off a little bit at a retreat. Somebody came out in a vagina hat, but I'm just saying, like you got the people who are like, I'm gonna.
I love y'all,
chill
but
the
it
world.
would have to come off.
Yeah, I'm
because
like,
I could not talk about anything.
Exactly, I could
I'm
not
like,
take
bro,
you serious,
bro.
Like, but,
you see it,
yeah,
and you
I'm
know
like,
this is
stop
distracting.
Stop it, just right there.
Yeah.
But I don't know why that just rolled out. Was because that's what I told the girls. Like, I'm not like, hey, let's all join hands, sing Kumbaya, because we're the women of the world
Yeah.
thing. But what I was telling her was, no. I believe everybody has a thing.
That's right.
Everybody
That's
has a
right.
thing. It could be
That's right.
somebody can cycle too much, like too much of a good or a bad thing. If that's your thing, if that's your release, if it's outside of Jesus Himself as your
Like your source of strength
your
and hope
thing.
and all the
yeah,
things.
that fills you up and keeps you going. It's kind of your purpose for life. Then, in our humble opinion, you're missing it.
yeah.
And we want
There's a better.
all the women of the world
Yes.
to not miss it. Like,
Yeah.
why are we missing it? Because we believe the deception, because we believe the lies, we believe social media, or we look on, I don't know, Jen's feed, and she's so cute and can do these, I don't even know the name for them, but the reels and the whatever and the TikTok and all the things, whatever. So I'm not relevant because I don't TikTok and tweet.
So
I
she's
don't
gonna have to show us
TikTok.
how to
Girl,
do
I don't
it.
even know how
I
to
don't-
do all that stuff, but I get
I
lost
don't
in it.
TikTok.
My poor boys were like, "Mom, it's not that hard."
Yeah.
I'm
I
like, "Yeah,
love
it is."
reels. Though.
Mine said, I can't believe you have an iPhone. Right? Like, why do you even have that thing? I was like, I wish that things were. I saw things, total squirrel chase, but I saw a thing with the little Nokia punchers is coming back and it's kind of trendy.
Oh.
Really?
Stop it. The young people are on the TikTok talking
So
about
they're
it.
gonna have to hit like the
I don't
number
even know how to
4.
get
They're on the
there, but they're
TikTok
on the
talking.
So we
TikTok.
got to hit it like 3 or 4 times one
They call
number to
those
get to the right
jitterbugs.
letter.
That's a jitterbug.
Okay, and then you go
Oh.
6, 7, 7, shoot!
Are you talking about those are coming
Delete.
back?
Yes, you know where you had to go all the way back.
Yeah,
gotta
you
punch it?
had, and you could
And you
text
take
without
it-
looking because you knew to press the 5
Yeah.
3 times.
Okay, I could not text and not look though. That's what I'm saying. I'm tech challenged, but what I am saying is,
But
in
they
all
also
that,
had auto predict on those. Do you remember that?
Mine
I don't
wasn't
think
that
I
fancy.
They was like, I
Fancy.
bet you're spelling.
Shut up. Where did you get these phones?
This is a Nokia. I almost said a Nokia. This is a Nokia phone.
That is like
with
Okay.
snakes.
Texas
I'm talking about the
and-
blue one. I'm talking about the green screen.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about.
Well, so
I
anyways, so
don't. I'm
here's what I'm
so
saying, because we
old.
gotta like land the bird. But so where I was going with that was
Let's
there's-
fly in.
like this lady was asking about this retreat, and she was asking about our podcast, and she was
Yeah.
kind of drilling me about the whole thing. It's new, and I
Yeah.
said, well, we're just kind of growing up in public. We're doing this thing, and she said, well, is this for me? And I was like, oh yeah. I mean, if you battle things in your head, or you're not sure, or you want an encounter and
Yes.
a deeper relationship, that's
Yeah.
what we're about.
Yeah.
For
That's
all
what
the
we're
women in the
about.
world. And she goes, any age? And I was like, yes. I said, well, I think
Bro.
there's probably some rules about a retreat with minors.
Oh yeah.
But
Oh,
I said,
yes.
besides that, she's not a minor.
Okay.
I said, here's
We're good.
here's how you register all the things. But what I'm getting at in all of our talking of the labels and our identity and the things we trip up on is, and I was explaining this to her, it's like, just because you've sat in church for years, or just because you've been in recovery for years, or
Okay.
just because whatever, we all battle these things. And if we're not sure in our relationship, and we're not sure, like, do you know that you are a daughter of the King without a shadow of a doubt? And I felt this the whole time. We got to land this thing, but there's some lady listening, and she's a mom, and she
Yes.
just needs to hear that she's knocking it out of the park.
That's right.
Yes, she is.
And God's looking down.
That's
You're
right.
beating yourself up, going, I got 3 kids. I'm juggling. My husband's working. I am drowning. And God is saying, hey, girl, I got you. And I love you. And you're knocking out of the park. And you're a superstar mom. Right?
Yeah.
And those are the things.
Yeah.
Those are the things that we want to reach out, all ages, right? I don't think we ever arrive. But when we have that relationship with him, right? When we know our identity, the labels fall off, the chains fall off, and we're free. And we don't have to be pretty. You don't have to be all dressed up. Jesus loves you right where
You
you're at.
don't
in your
have
hot
to dye your
mess.
hair. You can make your own
Okay.
deodorant, and Jesus will still love you.
It's true. It's true.
We need to practice that song.
Okay, we're gonna make some more songs, but
We gotta
for
land
today,
the bird.
yeah,
For
we're landing the
today.
bird on. You don't have to wear the labels anymore.
Nah,
No, you don't.
Nah,
And your identity is really in Jesus, and He loves you.
he loves you so much.
We love you,
Oh, we do.
but Jesus loves you even more.
That's right.
So find us on our.
You can find us on Facebook, our group Unchained Unpolished. You
Yay.
can also follow He Sees You Ministries on Instagram and Facebook. And you can also check out our website, heseesyou.org. Sign up for our retreat. It's going to be amazing.
Yay for the
Yay
retreat!
for the retreat.
Yeah.
If you're interested, come. We love you.
Yes.
Join the adventure train.
Choo choo.
This has been a Rogue Media Network production.